With mountains of weight loss and body transformations online, I'm here to show you what you can actually achieve naturally. So today let's cover my 12-month body transformation. Here we will cover the exact milestones, every single thing that I tried diet-wise, everything exercise-wise, just so you can get a more broad idea of what it actually takes. This is my starting point. I was around 25% body fat and roughly 85 kilograms, which is like 190 pounds. I took this picture because I knew that I needed to lose weight, and this was going to be the start. This was my rock bottom moment, and I feel like everybody has to hit that to some extent if they want to make a major change in their life. This for me was atrocious. This is what really opened my eyes, and I was like, damn, in reality I'm very overweight. And I also had a bunch of other people around me telling me that I was fat too, so that kind of pushed me over the edge a little bit. Months 0 through 3, I made a little bit of progress, as you will see on the pictures on screen. I got down to 20% body fat and I weighed around 80 kilograms, which is also around 185 pounds. You could see some noticeable changes for sure. The belly was a little bit gone, maybe a little bit more definition in the muscle, and let's speak about what I actually implemented. The first thing that I started doing is experimenting with different forms of cardio. I think at this point I was still trying to do running because everybody told me that running is crucial for fat loss. If you're not running, you're not gonna lose weight. I don't know who instilled this belief into people, but this is what I was getting preached all the time, and it was completely wrong. When it comes to cardio methods, you have to pick the one that you can actually stick to, and since I hate running, it didn't really work out too well for me. But the months 0 through 3 for almost everybody who is a beginner on their weight loss journey is going to be filled with a bunch of experimentation and not a lot of weight loss. This is where I was trying different diets. I was trying the keto diet, I was trying to do intermittent fasting, and like sure I would lose a little bit of weight but then kind of gain it back up. So I would fluctuate between like 78 kilograms to 82 kilograms, around that area, because I'd lose a bit of weight then I'd gain it back, and nothing was really consistently sticking with me. At this point I wasn't really doing any type of workouts, which I don't know why. I guess nobody told me that working out, like quite literally doing strength training, was going to help fuel my fat loss and make me look better at the end of the day, but I'll come to figure this out very soon. Months 3 through 6 I was around 18% body fat. Once again, very minor changes in 3 months, but I did probably lose around 3 kilograms, which is like 6-7 pounds. So I was weighing in at about 77 kilograms, which is around like 170 pounds. I have a little bit more size in this picture, and I feel like what could have happened is I actually started a strength training regimen here. I was doing push-pull legs at home, of course, all with my body weight. I had like one set of dumbbells which only went up to like 30 pounds, 15 kilograms, and I was hitting those around 3 to 4 times per week. This was also during the quarantine, so I had all the time in the world to do whatever I wanted. But my guess here is that my weight didn't fluctuate too much because I probably added a little bit of muscle size throughout that time, and I have worked out in the past, so maybe there was some like newbie gains, some muscle memory coming into play here. But this is where I started to see some noticeable results. As you can see, my muscle size is a bit higher, as I've been mentioning, and my weight did drop a little bit. This is the first time where I actually saw some semblance of abs. You know, if I really flexed hard enough, as you will see, you can see a little bit of ab poking through. And diet wise, this is where some of the things actually started to stick. This is where I started my real dieting journey. This is where I started removing sugar from my coffee instead of trying to jump on a bunch of little fad diets. I started reducing the amount of junk food I was eating instead of trying to go do some weird vegan diet. As for cardio, this is when I actually found the cardio method that I love, which was skipping. I love jumping rope. I hate running, and this is a perfect mentality switch for me at the moment because I found a cardio method that I liked. Months 6 through 9 is where I probably made the majority of my progress. And this is what I've been telling people recently. You have 2 phases of weight loss as a beginner. You have the psychological hell phase, which lasts around 3 to 6 months, and then you typically have the next 6 months, which you see the majority of the results. And in that way, weight loss is very exponential for every single beginner. You spend a lot of time learning, and then the weight loss just explodes once you actually figure out and learn what to do. So months 6 through 9, I was roughly 15% body fat at around 74 kilograms, which is like 165 pounds, 163. This is where I had full visible abs, and this very much so motivated me. At this point, I was barely eating junk food. I was implementing higher protein into my diet. I was getting into high volume, low calorie foods. I understood how calories kind of worked. I understood that you needed to eat healthier. This is where I became more consistent with my exercise routine. I was doing cardio 30 minutes every single day. And as you see, this is probably where I made the biggest jump in a 3-month time period. And the last 3 months were just going full out on everything that I knew. I already had the plan. I knew exactly what I liked. I implemented every dieting method that was sticking with me. So I started calorie tracking at this point, which is what made the biggest difference difference within this entire journey. I was eating even cleaner, I was doing more exercise, basically working out every single day at home. It doesn't take too long, it was like 30 minutes. And then after the 30 minutes of calisthenics, I would do roughly 30 minutes of cardio. My calories were at around 2,000. I was tracking everything as I said. And this is where I got to my endpoint, where I got to roughly 8% body fat at 68 kilograms, which is around 150 pounds. The total amount of weight that I lost was 17 kilograms, or around 37 pounds in 1 year, which equals out to 1.5 kilograms per month, or about 3 pounds per month. These numbers are actually quite low, and if you were to stick to a year-long plan, you can honestly lose more from like 50 to 100 pounds. But once again, I incorporated all the failures into this plan. I went from someone who knew nothing about dieting all the way down to 8% body fat. I wanted to show you the entire process and what it actually takes, all the psychological aspects, all the physical aspects, so I can lose more now that I know how to diet. And once again, as you probably realize, I progressively lost more weight over time. This is, as I previously mentioned, because weight loss is exponential. You spend a lot of the first couple of months learning how to do it, and then you can actually implement it. Once you learn, you never have to go through the psychological phase ever again. So it is a skill that you can develop. If you want to fast track your weight loss, press the first link in the description. Join our free Skool community. I'll make it paid in the future. So if you join now, you get it free for life. If I give you anything of value, consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to stay savvy with your diet.